What's up guys, another great fight on this week's card. We have Jonathan Martinez facing off against Vince Morales. This has got to be a clinical striking event here. But before we get into it guys, this video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. So let's start with Jonathan Martinez here, because Jonathan Martinez has not had a roller coaster of a UFC career so far, but has been up and down a little bit. You know, Sukuntash, Davey Grant, they're in there, but you got Thomas Almeida winning there. It's coming off a 2-fight win streak right now. Jonathan Martinez has shown he is a very, very high level striker, but maybe the other part of his games, including head movement and the grappling aspects, are a little bit on the lower side right now. He gets drawn into firefights a little too much for me, because he is such a technical striker. He needs to stay in that range. He needs to not get drawn into these firefights where he can implement his calf kick game. He has a very good calf kick. He showed it against Davey Grant. Davey Grant was aching in that fight until, Davey Grant possessed so much power that he kind of just loosened the guard, and he started with the right, he came over the top with the left, cleanly knocked out Jonathan Martinez, and it was a really whew, Davey Grant's back. And then from then on, obviously Davey Grant got the Marlon Vera fight and looked really good, and then he got obviously Adrian Yanez. So Jonathan Martinez was a really good win to propel him. Jonathan Martinez has a very good name, and Jonathan Martinez is a mainstay in the UFC to me. He's only getting better. I think he's 28 years old now. His boxing is sublime. He has very sharp hands, very good lateral movement, dances in and out of people. It's a lot of hit and miss against Jonathan Martinez. You throw, he's not there. He comes back into range, he bits you with the 1-2. He's very clinical, and I'm saying very a lot in this clip. Don't mind it at all, because that's what he is. He's very good. And then we have Vince Morales. Vince Morales is a little bit of an enigma to me. So Vince Morales, I don't know what he's extremely good at. He has very decent boxing. He's got decent head movement. He can move around the cage quite well. His grappling isn't awful, but I don't think he does anything great. Gutierrez butchered his leg. He could not learn from your mistakes, sir. If you're getting your leg chopped up, get out of the way or check it. And he didn't. It's like he didn't train how to defend any leg kicks being into mixed martial arts, and it really bugged me a little bit with Vince Morales. When he was paired up against the UFC London, pulled out the same day, bear in mind, due to a bad weight cut. You've got to be wary of that. He's a big boy cut in this weight, so that could play a major factor. But Nathaniel would, in my opinion, would have absolutely destroyed him. And that's not just being a biased Brit before people comment on that. It's the level above. And for me, Jonathan Martinez is a level above Vince Morales. Vince Morales really sits on those shots. He's very heavy on that lead leg. When he sits on it high, you could dig into that leg really bad, which is what Gutierrez did. And because he's so heavy on it, that's where the most damage is. He's got all the pressure in that calf. If you've got pressure in the muscle and then he gets hit, you're going to do more damage to it. You see Charles Oliveira against Justin Gaethje. The reason it doesn't bother him is because he's continuously lifting his leg the entire time. It's that Thai boxing front, when you're front body kicking and you're lifting that leg all the time, yes, it hurts to get kicked in it, but because there's no pressure on it, it's far less damaging. Because Vince Morales sits so heavy on that, I think Jonathan Martinez is going to eat that leg up all day, and that is going to control the movement of Vince Morales and allow him to get backed up into range where Jonathan Martinez is going to absolutely strike his nuts off. Vince Morales, for that, has to be defending these leg kicks or moving more. He's got to get inside that range, close that range down, get inside that pocket and use his really dirty boxing. Get inside that clinch, nasty, be nasty, make it dirty. And I think that's how Vince Morales can win this fight. I don't think he's out of it. I think it can be a very competitive fight, but I can see Jonathan Martinez absolutely finishing Vince Morales here. Vince Morales is a tough guy. He's really tough. But I don't see him surviving Jonathan Martinez's hands if he doesn't solve the issue of getting his leg chewed up, because that's going to happen. So for me, guys, might be unfairly critiquing Vince Morales here, but I don't think he's the level of Jonathan Martinez. I think Jonathan Martinez has fought better people. I thought he's won over better people. He's looked like he's improving. Vince Morales, to me, looks like he's stagnated on the same line for the last few fights. Yes, he had a very impressive win over Luis Smolka, which I have to applaud him with that. That was a very good knockout. but I don't think Jonathan Martinez is like that. I don't think he's going to leave his head there. I think you can't touch Jonathan Martinez like you can a Lewis Smolka. And Lewis Smolka is an ex-flyweight. He's a very small individual for 135, and Davey Grant just knocked him out as well and pieced him up the entire fight. So there's a lot of things to go on here, but Vince Morales, for me, he's got to make it brutal and dirty. Do not sit on the outside. Do not try and exchange with Jonathan Martinez. I think he's too technical for you. Just my take though, guys. I'd love to hear your takes if you think Vince Morales can actually beat Jonathan Martinez, or if you think Jonathan Martinez is just too technical for him. His striking is better, his movement is better. I'm trying not to overthink it when you think who's better in this department, who's better in that department, who's better in that department. No, he's got to win. But it doesn't always work like that. So let me know in the comments, guys, who you think is going to win. Agree with me, Jonathan Martinez or Vince Morales. Like the video if you have enjoyed it, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and enjoy the fights. Cheers, guys.